The release of 137 kidnapped children in Kaduna State is our focus on today's Which Way Nigeria. While the governor and members of his cabinet, along with security operatives, are celebrating and giving themselves kudos for the successful rescue of these young ones, this morning I'm saying thanks, but no thanks. No thanks because what exactly is there to celebrate? What is all the fanfare about? What exactly in that situation demands pictures and smiles like we're at the Grammy Awards? Take a look at this clip, that of course, is from the Kaduna State Government House as the kids were released and brought into Government House all dressed like they were going, for a party or going for an award ceremony. There's pictures, of course, of the governor. You can see that, the governor meeting with kids and, members of the Government House and someone biting his nails behind there. And of course, there's also pictures of him being presented with, a list of names, from the military personnel. Now take a look at those faces. And can anybody tell me what there is in this situation to be taking pictures and, making poses for the camera for? What exactly in that very sad situation necessitates all the fanfare that we see there? There are too many questions left unanswered. But before we even get to the questions, isn't it right to say that the first thing is that the government failed in its responsibility to protect those children? Isn't it right to say that at least the first steps, the security agencies failed the state and those children? So again, I say thanks, but no thanks. A situation where more than 130 children were kidnapped by terrorists. Bear in mind that we're still not certain if the actual number of victims is 138 or 287. So while we wait to confirm if there are still 150 people in captivity, are we saying that more than 100 children were kidnapped and taken away from Kaduna State all the way to Zamfara, a 10-hour journey according to reports? They spent about 16 days in captivity, were then somehow released, brought back 10 hours back to Kaduna State, and we're talking about, remember, it's kids we're talking about, barely even teenagers. And yet we're seeing those who failed these children, giving themselves kudos for their rescue. Thanks again, but again, no thanks. Don't forget that in this situation, a teacher reportedly died. And so the government that failed to protect these children, failed to protect that teacher who has lost his or her life, and yet they're taking pictures like it's an award ceremony. Where has shame gone to in Nigeria? Where is the honor that we should have? And at least a little bit of shame. And I mean, why are we like this? In a normal society, shouldn't there be massive resignations across all these sectors, including in Government House, for failing these children? And of course, who gets to answer for the loss of that teacher's life? Who gets to fix the trauma that those children have passed through in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks? And why should anyone who failed to prevent the kidnap, fail to immediately respond minutes after they were taken, stop them from getting all the way to Zamfara, fail to show proof that the kidnappers have been neutralized or have been arrested or killed? Why should anyone who failed in all these aspects still have a job this morning while we're talking? And yet we're taking pictures. Are we even serious at all in Nigeria? We should continue to ask all these questions. And this morning we had Marvelous Obomanu, who is still asking these questions in Kaduna State, our correspondent. But we should maintain these questions to the Kaduna State government and also to the government in Aso Rock until we get answers. But until then, thanks, but absolutely no thanks. Good morning, Nigerians.